Kat. Hi, Sasha. Of course I can. One of the most difficult challenges that we had when we were in Mexico City was obviously overcoming the language barriers. We were 5 in our group, and our levels of Spanish varied from just a few words to completely native and fluent. So we had to really work around organizing our time in a foreign country that we didn't speak the language, between having some of us doing interviews in English or having other ways to overcome that barrier. And what we've been able to do since we've extended our trip in Mexico is actually hire a translator, and that's been a lot of help to us because it's no longer a restriction, and we've been here for a couple of months now, so our Spanish is getting pretty good ourselves. Another big issue that we faced was clarity on transportation the first time. So we had a really big city that we weren't familiar with at all, and Google Maps was not really a helpful tool for us to get around Mexico City. So what we've been able to do is, actually, the translator that we hired is a native from Mexico City, and he knows the place really well. So he basically just helps us get from point A to point B, and sometimes because we're dealing with water management, we have to go far outside the city to see various places and interview people, and he's been really helpful with that as well. So I would say, like, extending our trip, the best thing that we've done is to have a native accompany us. Finally, since we've been here, we've really thought about which ways we could rework our methodology from our first trip in Mexico when we were all 5 here. And one problem that we had was that we were really pressed for time in our research at the beginning, so we didn't have enough time to really understand exactly what every person that we interviewed did. And if we had been able to do that, we could have asked very precise questions, which we weren't able to ask. So we ended up with a lot of information coming in, and it wasn't exactly the information that we had wanted. So since we've been here, we've taken parts of our day and devoted it completely to just research. So we've read papers, we know exactly who we're interviewing, we're able to interview people multiple times, and while we do still stick to the kind of letting them talk how they, and say what they want to say, what we've been able to change is when it's our turn to sort of guide an interview, we can ask really, really precise questions so our interviews feel more purposeful. What about you, Allison? Did you find some limitations the first time we were there that we've been able to change?
Yep. When we were here in January, we only had 1 week to do everything and schedule everything in. And this tight timeline meant that any cancellation really mixed up the schedule. And as Danielle mentioned, we also had to juggle where the Spanish speakers were and where the English speakers were and where we needed them to be. So any cancellation now is a lot more feasible because we no longer have to juggle that language barrier, and we can always move someone to the following week if need be. Along those same lines, in January we had several instances where additional interviewees were present at interviews when we weren't expecting them to be there. For example, when we went to visit one of the Suelos de Conservación, we were invited to interview a local government official, which we weren't expecting at all. So we really had to think on our feet and think of questions to ask him and really take advantage of that time we were given to meet with him. And this sort of thing continues to happen as we meet more people, and they are always introducing us to their colleagues that they wish for us to speak with. But with more time, we can really be more flexible and available to meet with these people and just be a little bit more prepared to expect the unexpected. And as Pooja mentioned before, we have restructured our research question, and we've narrowed it down to focus more on the cause of the illegal settlements. So drawing on our January research, we now have more insight into the intimate connections between different sectors, such as housing and transport, and how those really connect with the water policies of Mexico City. So what we've been able to do over the past few weeks is really reach out to new actors and meet with them who previously we weren't aware that they were really playing a part in water policy and the Suelos de Conservación. For example, just yesterday we met with the Secretariat of Rural Development, and they were able to really give us more insight on the connection between housing policies and the causes for the illegal settlements on the Suelos de Conservación. Tomorrow we'll be meeting with several citizens of illegal settlements at one of the new Suelos de Conservación that we haven't visited before. While we were here in Mexico in January, we were only able to visit one of the Suelos de Conservación, whereas these past few weeks we've had much more time to visit a number of conservation sites and really compare the monitoring techniques and speak with different actors who are playing a part to conserve these lands. So as Danielle mentioned before, we're really taking advantage of this extra time to make relationships with our interviewees and meet with them multiple times, because each time there's new connections made and new information is revealed. So these past few weeks have been really great, and with restructuring our research question and reworking our methodology, we're hoping to update the report and send it to you soon.
Can't wait to see you guys when we get back to Paris.
Bye.